Today, I built an agentic financial company analyzer that uses Nimble's search focus modes to create an amazing data set that it uses to give us a really interesting and insightful analysis of a company. All you have to do is give it a stock ticker, and it will collect a bunch of different information. We're going to see exactly what it does. It shows us recent catalysts. It compares it to the competition, and it does all of this in a really interesting agentic framework. So this is what the final output looks like, but let's hop over really quickly to see how this agent is actually built. So the process that the agent goes through is that you input a ticker. It first of all discovers peers and generates a peer list using a get financials function that we've built. It accumulates the financial data that it needs in order to build the assessment. It gathers recent catalysts or recent events reported in the news, and then it synthesizes all of that information. It assembles it. It builds these tables, numbers reread from FinViz. It never retypes with an LLM, so the numbers never drift. It persists by saving the information to a Supabase table, which we'll see in a moment. And then it renders everything using the Chainlit dashboard that we saw in a second. And that is amazing when you're using agents because it gives you that real-time feedback, monitoring, and interaction. And follow-ups. We can actually send follow-up questions after the initial assessment to get more information. Stack-wise, what we've got is Nimble's web search agents. We're using extract and search using the Nimble Python SDK. This is our window into the web. All data originates from Nimble web search agents real-time extraction. For reasoning, we're using Claude Sonnet 4.6. Our agentic framework is LangChain and LangGraph. For storage, we're using Supabase. The free tier is incredible. I really recommend checking it out. For the dashboard, we're using Chainlit, and of course, everything is built on Python 3.9. We have three tools that we've built on top of Nimble. Get Financials, which uses Nimble Extract to extract the FinViz pages of specific companies after we've already identified them. Find Peers, which uses Nimble Search with a general focus mode to find peers of the company that we've selected, and Get Catalysts, which uses Nimble Search in a news focus mode to specifically find recent events that are worth mentioning. Here's why we've built each one of these. So for Nimble, it's our only way to get the real fresh structured financials for an arbitrary peer set. To create that kind of discovery in real time and then that deep enrichment, Nimble is the best way to get both of those done. We also have one very simple SDK, which gives us extract and search, and focus modes, which are reliable, they're fast, and they really, really narrow down so we get much, much higher quality data in our output. For Claude, I used Sonnet because I think that the judgment here is very important, and Sonnet gives us a great balance of speed and cost to judgment quality. For LangChain and LangGraph, we used Create React Agent to give a model-driven loop with minimal code. Plus, the bonus is the tools in the context persist, so follow-up questions are really, really easy and can actually use Nimble tools to gather additional data where they need it. We used Supabase to persist the information, to save it and be able to re-access it. And I'll go and show you in a moment when we go back to the dashboard that I can actually go back to previous calls, and Chainlit in order to create a smooth UI that integrates really smoothly with LangChain and gives us this really real-time agentic interaction visually. Now, if we hop over really quickly, this is the file structure. So I built everything with Claude. I can come back in here. This is the Claude conversation that I used. It was just 30 minutes to figure out the logic of what I'm going to do and then have it actually build everything that I needed to. So let's see some of the code that it's actually come up with. So this is the file structure that we have. We have an app.py. This is our Chainlit dashboard, agent.py. This is our LangGraph React agent and comps assembly, tools.py. This is where our interaction and integration with Nimble lives. Parse.py is where we get the FinViz markdown and get the exact numbers that we need, and so on and so forth. These are the functions that we use to wrap Nimble. So you can see that Get Financials uses Nimble Extract, which is very straightforward. We get our format back in Markdown. For Find Peers, we're doing a Nimble search, and we've put it on the general focus mode. And you see we've even built a kind of a fixed query where the user's input comes in as a parameter. And we did the same with Get Catalysts, except this time we have the focus set to news, and obviously the query that we're searching is slightly different. This is our main loop at agent.py. This is where we assemble the comps, and you can see that the agent is selecting which companies to compare by financial figures are parsed deterministically, and that means that they can't be hallucinated by the LLM. This is our React loop. It's very straightforward. We just use chat Anthropic with the model that we've configured in order to create our LLM, and then we return the create React agent that uses the LLM that we selected, and this is where we assemble our final table. So if we hop back into our dashboard, I'll show you what this looks like in real time. So this is our homepage, and here I can select, it has a couple of suggestions for me: Chipotle, Salesforce, Nike, NVIDIA, and these are previous runs I've already did. So for example, this is a run I did on Nike, and we can see the reaction that it gave us to Nike. Modestly overvalued compared to peers, Nike's large cap brand premium is hard to justify given negative revenue growth. And these are some of the recent catalysts. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hop back to the main page, and I'm going to run a result on Apple. So the entire process here took us just about 2 minutes. And if we start all the way at the top, we can see what it's done. So first of all, we have the target snapshot for Apple. Next, we have the peer selection rationale. We've got Microsoft, Alphabet, Meta, NVIDIA, and Broadcom. It's actually decided to drop Dell, Sony, and Amazon as they were either irrelevant or just not as good as the other selections. Then it enriched the results against the other competitors that it just identified some recent catalysts, and then it's put together the final analysis and verdict on Apple. Fairly valued to modestly rich versus peers, Apple's trades at a meaningful profit engagement and PEG premium to the group without matching peer level revenue growth. We've got the recent catalysts, and we've got our final graph here. I hope you enjoyed this demo, and I can't wait to see what you build with Nimble.